Waking up has always been a challenge for me. It's pretty much the reason why I was always late for school, why I got expelled twice in high school. Everyone had just gotten used to my very abnormal late disorder. It's really what they call African time. You tell me to meet you at 11, I'll arrive an hour later. I'm not punctual at all. I was supposed to be at work about an hour ago, but I'm still quickly driving there, but traffic is just not on my side today. After a long exhausting 15 minutes I get to work and quickly put my apron on and rush to the workers' room so the manager won't see me. Manager: Nosipho, shit. He saw me and he looks furious. Me: I'm so sorry, my cat died this morning and I had to go bury it and I lost track of time. Manager: didn't your cat die last week? I've used this line before. Me: I had 2 cats, they are both dead now. Manager: go to the head office, the boss is waiting for you. I've never even seen the boss ever since I started working here about a month ago. I know the procedure, I'm going to get fired again. I've been fired so many times it doesn't even hurt me anymore. I bump my head on the door and curse. Boss, you're such a mess for a beautiful lady like you. I smile while I rub my forehead. Boss, I'm sorry this has to happen, but you're fired. Nosipho. You're always late for work, you're clumsy and break almost every equipment there is. Trust me, you're a good cook, best we've ever had, but you're more of a curse than a blessing. This is the salary you were going to get this month. Please leave with immediate effect. I took the money and slowly walked out. I didn't even say goodbye to any of my colleagues. Well, ex-colleagues, well, bye-bye to my chef job that I had. I failed to be a librarian, I failed to be a waitress, I failed to be a chef, and what's next? There has to be something, cause I need a job. I'm damn 25 years old, I need a good job. Thing is, I don't even want to work, but my parents have cut me off. They said it's time I knew how to take care of myself. I don't blame them, I've been spoiled since I was born. I couldn't even do my own laundry till the past few months. I only knew how to cook when they tossed me in some apartment in Glenwood and took my BMW, and they have me a small Kia Picanto. It's a 3-bedroom apartment which I had to pay for on my own till I got a roommate, which is my cousin, and I pay for the fuel in my car. Mind you, I still need to buy groceries and my personal stuff. How am I going to do that without even having a job? Even if I call my parents, my father will say, Nosipho, find yourself and find your purpose in life. What is my purpose in life? I'm just a clumsy, disorganized, lazy and boring young lady. I'm thick and short, very dark in skin color, and I have long hair. I call it my natural weave. I'm 25 years old, born on the 1st of January, and the only child whom her parents have left in the woods to struggle while they enjoy life in Langer, and I'm in Glenwood. My name is Nosipho Billows, and this is my story. I had to spend the rest of the day yesterday being shouted at by Ntombi, my cousin, about not having a job. It's not my fault that I've hardly kept a job for a month or 2 weeks, and she's been on one job for 2 years while studying. I don't have any degree. When I finished high school, I was literally done with school. I failed matric and put no effort into upgrading or whatever. Not all of us are academically gifted. I failed grade 11 and I had to repeat it. That was the worst year of my life. I hate school with everything inside of me. I did my morning routine and took my CV. I know I won't get a job, I'm just doing it for the sake of doing something and hoping a miracle happens, cause I also wouldn't hire me if I saw this CV and called previous employers as references. Cause they have nothing good to say about me. I drove around restaurants, and the first one I went to, they were hiring, but the manager asked me, are you seriously looking for a job? People who are serious about jobs don't come looking for one at this time and dressed like that. Like, what was wrong with looking for a job at 1 p.m. and wearing Air Force sneakers, Gucci t-shirt and Prada bag? These are my normal everyday clothes. He made it seem like I'm some snob. And I would never wake up at 6 a.m. just to look for a job. I'd rather not work. Most restaurants I went to, they judged me or my CV, and some just didn't even let me speak. Me. This is the last one and I'm done. I was starving and tired. I parked my car and went in. This time I decided to leave the expensive bag in my car and walked in. It looked like a very beautiful and high standardized restaurant. Waiter. May I help you, ma'am? Me. Hi. I'm looking for your manager or your boss. Someone who does the hiring around here. Waiter. Let me take you to the office. Follow me. I thanked him and followed him to the office. When we got there, there were two men in black suits, both wearing black shades, and the other one was standing next to the one sitting on the chair. Maybe it's the boss and his bodyguard. Me. Good afternoon, gentlemen. Silence. 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 I cleared my throat and still they didn't respond. Could my day get any worse than it already is? I stood up, but the guy sitting down spoke him. Sit down, guy too. You heard the boss. Sit down. I sat my ass down and looked at these idiots. Boss. What do you want, young lady? Me. I'm looking for a job. I handed over my CV and the bodyguard took it and went through it. It's not much. It's just a single page. Bodyguard. It doesn't look good at all. Boss. What do you want to do? Me. Be a chef here. I was a chef on my last job, boss. And how long did it last? Me. A month, boss. Why? Me. Let's just say I'm a bit too clumsy, but I'm good at what I do. The man just stared into space. I can't even see his eyes with these shades on. They spoke among themselves in a language I don't even know. They just laughed and I assumed they were laughing at me. I was beginning to be irritated, but I needed the job. The bodyguard made a call and passed it over to the boss. Can't he use his own hands? After the call he had a smile on his face. Boss. You did say you were clumsy, but breaking the entire restaurant equipment, isn't that a bit too much? Me. Sean is exaggerating, he didn't even like me that much. Boss. Interesting. I have a job for you, but not in my restaurant. I can't risk having my equipment damaged. Me. What job? Boss. You'll be my personal chef, that way you won't have to wake up early to go to work and you'll be in a comfortable working space. Me. I'm happy with that. Boss. Can you even cook? I don't trust you at all. I laughed at him and we spoke for a while. He was just an open person, easy to talk to and very calm. Boss. Let's go to the kitchen and you can cook something quick for me and I'll know if I can trust you or not. Me. I'm fine with that. This man is giving me a chance. I have to do this right and not mess up. He stood up and took a well-polished black stick. It didn't seem like a walking stick and he wasn't even limping. Maybe he just uses it to go with the look. Classic man maybe. I followed him to the restaurant's kitchen and he gave me ingredients and stood next to me while I chopped the vegetables. What caught me off guard was how he used his hand to feel how I've cut the carrots. Couldn't he just look? Boss. I like them cut straight. First impression. I laughed and he didn't seem to be watching me, but he seemed to be so attentive. After I was done with his spaghetti with meatballs and veggies, he took a deep breath, inhaling the smell of it, and walked out. I followed him with the bowl to his office. One was confused. Isn't he going to eat? Me. You could taste the food, sir. Boss. I don't eat in public places. Weird, but he's in his office. No one will see him if that's what he's worried about. I didn't ask any questions and he gave me details of where I should come tomorrow at 9 a.m. At least it's not 7 a.m. I hope I won't be that late. I took my car keys and left, thinking about this weird encounter with this weird man I'll be working for. There's just something about him that I didn't know how to explain it or pinpoint about him, but there's just something I'm not getting about this man. I got home and took a long bath, relaxing my body, and my thoughts were just on this new job I had to do. The man was handsome, but I didn't see his eyes. He might even be more attractive when I see his eyes. He seemed old though, so he's not a factor. He's probably married and has 20 kids. After my shower I took my file and sorted it out. It has recipes for breakfast, lunch, And supper. I had to get his meal plan and sort everything out. One thing I was passionate about was cooking, and I wanted to make sure I don't miss this opportunity, so I slept early so I could be on time and not disappoint my new boss and myself. Insert 1. Sleeping early didn't really help, but I was not as late as I usually am. It's around 9-10 a.m. and I'm driving to Hillcrest trying to get to this man's house as quickly as possible. I was using GPS to locate his house, and damn was it big. Maybe I got the wrong place. I checked the address again and it was the same one. The electronic gate opened and I drove in, but security stopped me. Security: your name and surname, ma'am? Me. Nosipho Billows. They have me a piece of paper to write down and some book where I signed and wrote the time I arrived here. My fingerprints were taken and a picture of me too. What an exaggerated security procedure. I drove to the parking lot and my car was so small amongst the big cars that were parked here. I took my bag and file, then went to knock on the door. I was shocked when the door just opened and no one was there. Is it electronic too? I entered and then realized I should take off my shoes. There was a shoe rack near the door and white fluffy socks hung next to it. They looked very new. So I took off my sneakers and wore the socks. Some lady came by. She seemed like she was my age, dressed in a cleaner's uniform, and she had a name tag on. Her name is Bonnie. Bonnie, hi. Follow me please. I followed her, and along the way a bunch of people were moving around cleaning and some moving furniture. The house was so clean and fresh, I felt like I'm just going to disturb the peace here. Everyone was working silently and some musical instruments were playing. Are we in heaven? It was just such a beautiful, peaceful house. Everything was just mostly white and there were green art pieces and some places painted in black and grey. Bonnie led me to the kitchen and gave me something that looked like a menu and a book full of ingredients. Bonnie, Mr. Zondi has his breakfast at 10 a.m. exactly. I nodded and looked through. At least breakfast seemed simple. The lunch and supper is what I'm worried about. I'm not one who has cooked Italian food, but I will try. The kitchen is so clean, I'm scared to even touch anything, and mostly, I don't even know where the stove is. I kept looking around. I walked around the house looking for Bonnie, and luckily I found her. Me. Bonnie, please show me the stove. She giggled and I followed her back to the kitchen. She pressed a button and the white cupboards shifted and the stove appeared. I would have never been able to figure that out. I opened the fridge and my stomach just grumbled. So much food in here, and it just happens to be mostly my favorites. I took out what I needed and started cooking. It was simple breakfast: bacon, eggs, cheese, grillers, toast and baked beans. I dropped the pan when he came down the stairs, followed by his bodyguard. He was wearing sweatpants and a long-sleeved tight t-shirt. Him. Nosipho. I couldn't even respond. They passed by and I was left to clean up my mess. It was just 10 minutes to 10 a.m. and I was almost done. I put everything on his serving table and waited till it was 10 a.m. exactly while I boiled the water. I didn't even know where he is. Where was I going to take this food? There was a little bell next to me and I took it and rang it. I was shocked when some workers came immediately to the kitchen. His bodyguard came rushing to me and he looked angry. His name tag was written Menzi. It's okay, everyone can go back to whatever they were doing. Nosipho, this is not for you to use. Only Mr. Zondi uses these, so if you come across one again, don't use it. He stormed out and I rang the bell again. He was so irritated. Me, where do I take his food? Menzi, follow me. I wheeled the table and it was heavy. I really struggled with pushing it and Menzi moved me and did it himself while I held the hot water kettle. Me. Thank you Menzi, whatever. Ouch. Okay, he doesn't like me. I served them and then Mr. Zondi gave me a contract and they asked me to excuse them. I made myself food and sat down on the porch outside and read my contract. I was getting paid our 20,000 a month, just cooking for him. Wow, I was happy and I signed the contract. What alarmed me more after signing the contract was that I was on call 24/7. Even if he called me at 1 a.m. I would have to come cook for him. Such bullshit. I have a life too. I Had nothing to do till 12, lunchtime. I scrolled on my phone and there was free Wi-Fi here. Yay. Best job ever. I was on the gram when my phone rang and it was an unknown number. Me. Hello voice, come to the kitchen. I quickly stood up and rushed to the kitchen and he was standing there with the black stick again. I haven't seen him limping or anything and he always has his shades on. Me. You called for me, sir. Him. The name is Qunel Zondi. Me. I'd prefer to call you Mr. Zondi. Qunel. Suit yourself, breakfast was delicious. Thank you. With that said he walked away. I noticed he walked like a robot. It's like he calculates his steps and it all just seemed weird. He tapped his stick on the floor a few times and calculated his steps again. Is he a robot? I went back outside and sat till I went back and cooked lunch. It wasn't as hard as I thought it would. Mind you, I wasn't only cooking for him this time, I was cooking for everyone in this house. The staff here is like 20 people, plus him and Menzi and myself included, so I was cooking for about 23 people. A lady named Kanya helped me set up his table. Apparently we eat at our own table which is downstairs and he and Menzi eat alone upstairs. We prepared everything and they sat down. They don't eat until we leave. I wonder why. I follow Kanya and we get downstairs and I meet the other workers and everyone dishes up for themselves. I sit in the middle of Kanya and Bonnie. People compliment my cooking and I thank them. Me. How is it like working for Mr. Zondi? Bonnie. A breeze, he's just a man of a few words. I've only spoken to him maybe twice. You work well, he pays you well. Kanya. That's true. Me. He's always with that bodyguard of his. Kanya. Bodyguard. Me. Yes, Menzi. Bonnie sad face, laughs. Menzi is not his bodyguard. He's more like his right-hand man. He can't see so he needs someone to assist him 24/7. Me. What do you mean he can't see? Kanya. You didn't know. Mr. Zondi is blind. Silence. 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 Me. Oh, I didn't notice. It makes sense now. The stick isn't for walking but it's for blind people. The black shades are actually his medical spectacles. The calculated steps, everything just seems to make sense now why he let Menzi read my CV and how Menzi dials numbers for him on the phone. The man is blind. Oh God. I would have never thought of this. It's actually just so sad. Maybe he has never even seen Menzi's face yet it seems like he trusts Menzi with everything. Bonnie. He's a very intelligent man, you could never say he's blind. He does do some things himself. My mind was not even here anymore. We cleaned up and I went outside and chilled at the garden while I read a book. I saw him walking around the garden alone. Menzi was sitting on the chairs outside looking at him. Perhaps he just wanted to be alone for a few minutes. I looked at him and as he walked so confidently in his calculated steps, he wasn't even using a stick. He folded his arms and they were so muscular. How does he do it? I don't think a blind man can lift weights. I stopped reading and watched him. He has a nicely cut beard which does have a little grey hair and his hair is nicely cut too. He seems like a very clean man. His house says it all. Oh gosh. He's walking towards me. How did he know I'm here? Qunel. Nosipho MXM. They were joking. This man can see. If he can't, then how did he know it was me who was sitting here? Qunel. Your smell, I could tell it was you. Ah no, stop twisting my mind and making me more confused than I already am. Me. Oh, that's all I could say. Qunel. May I sit next to you? Me. Yes you may. Do you need help? Okay, I shouldn't have said that. He sat down and chuckled. Qunel. What makes you think I need help with sitting down? Me. I'm sorry Qunel, you know already don't you? I nodded and remembered he can't even see me nod. Me. Yes. Why didn't you tell me? Qunel. It's not really wise to tell people you're blind when you first meet them, but it's pretty obvious. People ask me before I even say I'm blind. Me. Oh well, I didn't even notice. I did notice you were a weird man, but I just didn't think you'd be blind. Qunel. Well, I'm blind Ms. Nosipho. Are you going to quit your job and run away? Me. No, I'm just shocked Qunel. I understand. You can take the rest of the day off. Don't worry about supper. Menzi and I have a meeting to attend to tonight, so we won't be here. Me. Thank you. I am exhausted, so I'll go home and sleep Qunel. Whenever you're here, just know you have a room that belongs to you. You can sleep when you get tired. Me. Thank you, such a great job. I'm never leaving this job ever. Qunel. Enjoy the rest of the day. Me. Should I leave you here? Qunel. Yes, you did steal my thinking spot. Me. I'm sorry, Qunel. You may leave. I looked at him and I don't know why, but I just wanted to cry. I felt so much pity for him and it was just overwhelming. I didn't even say goodbye to Kanya, Bonnie or Menzi. I drove off and went home. Ntombi was busy cooking and I wasn't hungry. Ntombi, what is wrong with you? Me. Nothing, I'm just tired. Ntombi, go rest and tell me all about it later. I doubt I'll even wake up later. I'll tell her tomorrow morning. Let me go sleep and stop feeling so sad for a man I barely even know who seems happy and content with his life and his blindness. Insert 2. My first week of working for Mr. Zondi has been a breeze, just like his other workers say. The last time we spoke was when we were at the garden. The day after that I felt like he was avoiding me for some reason, but then I remembered that they said he is not a man of many words. Probably it was the first and last time he spoke to me. He doesn't even say a proper good morning, he just says Nosipho and he's done. I've mastered most of his meals and some are on the menu for Menzi and not him. I've noticed he doesn't eat nuts, avocado and kiwi. So far I've also noticed he has a food weakness. He is a chocolate lover. He laughs a lot when he is with Menzi. You could say he is his best friend. Menzi. It's a very hot day today. Me. Yes, it is Menzi. Qunel says you should join us for lunch. Me. No thank you Qunel. I insist. I looked down and nodded. Menzi. She says yes. I forget that he doesn't see me when I nod. Me. Let me finish up with the cooking. They went to the TV room and they watched TV. The volume was high, so I guess he only listens. I called them when I finished up and we sat down and I said a prayer blessing the food. Menzi put a napkin on him and he started feeding him. No, this was too much for me to watch. I just cried and stormed out. No wonder he said he doesn't eat in public cause he has to be fed. I sat at the garden and cried so much I couldn't stop the tears from flowing non-stop. Don't pity him, he hates that. I looked up and it was Menzi. Me. I'm sorry, I just couldn't hold it in. Menzi. I understand. It's not easy for him as well. Don't pity him though please, he feels less of a man. He didn't even want to eat anymore. Me. Where is he now? I need to apologize. Menzi. In his room. Me. Oh, I guess I'll wait for him till he comes downstairs. Menzi. He won't. Go to him. I went to the house but went to the bathroom first and I washed my face. I knocked and he didn't respond. I opened and he was laying on the bed with earphones on. I sat next to him and took out his earphones. Qunel. Rule 1: never disturb a man when he is at his peaceful place. Me. I'll keep that in mind. Qunel. You were crying. Me. How do you know? Qunel. I may not be able to feed myself, but I know a lot more. I may not be able to see, but I have 4 other senses that work very well, my lady. Me. I'm sorry Qunel, I understand. Most blind people can feed themselves. It's one thing I wasn't able master. I've been trained a lot but I've failed over and over again. Me. And there's nothing wrong with that. We all have something we fail at doing. I fail at a lot of things Qunel, like. Me. I failed a lot at school. I fail to be less clumsy and organized. He laughed at me and his stomach grumbled. Me. And you are hungry Qunel. I didn't want to embarrass myself more in front of a beautiful lady. Me. For all you know, I might be a very ugly lady who looks like a frog. Qunel. I know you're beautiful. I know a beautiful lady when I see one. Me. You can't even see Qunel. Qunel. I might not be able to see with my naked eyes, but trust me, my imagination works. Perfectly, and I know you're beautiful. Me. Whatever, come. Let's go get you fed, Qunel. Bring the food here, I don't want to leave this room. I'm having one of those days. Me. What days? Qunel. You're so slow, Nosipho. Me. Whatever. I left him and went to warm up his food and took it up to him. Menzi was there too when I came back and I fed him. Menzi. Qunel, Menzi, I have to take the night off. Qunel, what? Why? Do we have something important that you personally have to attend? Menzi. No, Qunel. Then. Menzi. Remember that girl I told you about? I want to take her out tonight, on a proper date. Qunel. Oh, that's great. I thought you'd live your entire life very single, Menzi. Whatever, so I'll call Nurse Judy to come help you tonight. Qunel. No, don't call that evil woman. I'll manage, Menzi. You know you won't. Manage. Stop being stubborn. They kept on arguing and they weren't reaching any agreement. Me. Just stop it. They both kept quiet and I sighed. They were going on like 2-year-olds. Me. Take the night off, Menzi. I'll take care of Qunel. There's no need to. I could just fly to my parents' house and I'll be fine. Me. That's using money unnecessarily. I'll take care of you while he goes and gets laid. Menzi. I'm not a douchebag. I won't shag her on our first date. Me. Trust me, the both of you look like players. You swing woman left, right and center. The way they laughed, it was like they were remembering a lot and I just left them there to be all buddy-buddy. I was lazy to go upstairs, so I texted Menzi telling him I'm going home to pick up an overnight bag. I got home and Ntombi was home too. Me. Aren't you supposed to be at work, Ntombi? Ntombi. We were dismissed early, some inspection is going on and I don't have any class today, so I'm sleeping all day. Me. Well, you'll sleep alone tonight. I have to stay over and take care of my boss. Ntombi. Where is his right-hand man? Me. Taking the night off. Ntombi. You do realize that your boss is blind? Me. Yes, I'm fully aware of that, Ntombi, meaning you might have to bathe him. Me. Oh, I didn't think of that. She laughed at me and continued sleeping while I was recalculating my decision and how I didn't even think this thoroughly. I'll just cross that bridge when I get to it. I drove back to his mansion and put my bag in the room I'm using. I waved at Menzi to come here, so that Qunel doesn't hear me. He looked confused and came to me. Menzi. What? Me. I have a question, Menzi, and that is, me. Do I have to bathe him? Menzi just decided to laugh at me and I felt so stupid. Menzi. No, he can do it himself. Wait. You think I bathe him every day? Me. I thought so, Menzi. No, I only do that on his weekdays. Me. Weekdays, Menzi. Yes, he has his days where he can't function. His entire body shuts down and he can't even stand me. What happened to him? Menzi. It's not my place to tell me. I understand, Menzi. Let me leave you guys to bond and get to know each other. If there's an emergency, don't hesitate to call me. Emergencies like Menzi. Him falling and you can't pick him up, that's literally like the only emergency that could happen today. Me. Got it. Menzi said his goodbyes and he left. Awkward. I didn't even know what to do. Qunel was busy with some papers, he was reading using his hands. It's a very rare thing to see. Our world has improved highly and it has definitely become a place comfortable for every type of person. Blind people can read and write just like normal people. Me. What do you do for a living, Qunel? Qunel. I sit in the house all day. Me. Really now? Sarcasm is not for you, Qunel. I'm a businessman, that you should know. I own a restaurant, multi-million construction company and a few taxis my father gave me. Me. Interesting, Qunel. I feel like you have more questions. Me. I do, Qunel. Ask me, who handles all these businesses for you? Qunel. I do, with Menzi's help too. Me. How long have you known Menzi? Qunel. 30 years. Me. How old are you? Qunel. 35. Me. Interesting, Qunel. You may continue. Me, do you know what Menzi looks like? Qunel, I do know how he looked like when we were 5 years old. The question you wanted to ask was if I was born blind. Me, yes Qunel, no, I wasn't. Me, so you got blind when you were 5 years old. Qunel, I couldn't completely see when I was 6. Me, what happened? Qunel, that's a story for another day. Me, okay, Qunel, I can open my eyes but I won't be able to see you. He put the papers aside and I stepped closer. Qunel, take off my glasses. Me, I always thought you just wear shades. Well, that was before I knew you were blind. Qunel, you're an interesting character. I took off his glasses and sat next to him. He slowly opened his eyes and they were wet. They had those dirty things you have when you have a pink eye, the slimy stuff. I don't know what they're called yet. I did do life sciences at school. Me, let me clean your eyes. He nodded and I ran to get a wet towel and cleaned his eyes. He sat so quietly and so still, it was like he was in deep thoughts. He caressed my arms and laughed. Me, what? Qunel, you're a monkey, your arms are hairy. Me, sad face, giggles, I'm not a monkey. Qunel, whatever makes you sleep at night. Me, I'm done. Are you hungry? Qunel, yes I am, but don't cook, just order something. Me, I don't mind cooking. Qunel, this is your day off from cooking. Me, okay fine. Qunel, so tell me, what do you enjoy doing? Me, reading, watching movies and sleeping. Qunel, that's it. Me, yeah that's it. Qunel, you don't go jogging, hiking, swimming, partying. Me, no, I'm a very lazy person, so I don't engage in any activity that requires me to be active and energetic. Qunel, that means you're a virgin. Me, what? Qunel, sex requires you to be active and energetic, so you said you don't engage on such activities, so it means you're a virgin. Me, well I'm not. Qunel, let me ask again, what do you enjoy doing? Nosipho. Me, reading, watching movies and sleeping. Qunel, and having sex. I laughed at him and ordered pizza and ribs. Qunel, sadly, I can't watch movies with you, I can just listen. I can't play a game with you cause I can't see, so I guess we'll just sit and talk for the rest of the afternoon. Me, I'm fine with that. Qunel, so you're 25. Me, yes I am. Qunel, no child. Me, no. Qunel, want one. Me, yes, and do you have a child? Qunel, no, and I don't want one. Me, why? Qunel, what's the use of having a child whom I'll never even be able to see, and it's highly possible that that child will be blind too. I wouldn't want my very own child to go through this life. It's no fun. Me, I understand, so it means you don't want a wife. Qunel, no, I'm fine with just having booty calls cause I don't have to see them. Once I'm done, we go our separate ways. Me, you don't have a girlfriend. Qunel, no. Me, okay. Silence, 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 and then I drop the mug I was carrying. Qunel, Nosipho, you're always dropping things. Me, I'm clumsy. Qunel, one would swear you're doing it on purpose. Me, my hands just shake for no reason and I drop things. Qunel, you need to learn how to relax. Me, have you ever been in love before? Qunel, no, the only love I know is the one I get from my parents, my siblings and Menzi. Put my glasses back on, my eyes hurt. Me, okay sorry. I took his glasses and put them back on. Qunel, have you ever been in love before? Ms. Billows. Me, I think so. Qunel, have you ever been in love before? Me, I said I think so. Qunel, then you've never been in love before too. Me, why do you say so? Qunel, because you should have said yes the moment I asked you that question. When you say you think so, it means you're not sure whether you were in love or not. Now that's not being in love. True love is certain and with no doubts. He made sense, he makes a lot of sense most times. The food arrived and I fed him while I also ate. It was fun, talking to him put you at ease and he's a funny character. He enjoys laughing and he's touchy. He kept on touching my arms and hands. His phone rang, it was around 8 p.m, time flies. I answered it and put it on speaker as he instructed. Voice. Baby, are you home? Qunel. Yes, I'm home. Simy. Okay, I'm coming over. Qunel. Cool. The call ended and I was very curious. Me. Girlfriend. Qunel. I have no girlfriend. Me. But she called you baby. Qunel. I'm not her baby, I'm a grown-ass man. I laughed so much and he smiled. Qunel. She's just someone I fuck with. Let's just say she can't stay away from me. Me. Arrogancy. After a few minutes this Simy girl arrived and she looked like she just came out of a magazine. She was thin and tall, looked very beautiful, and she was wearing expensive clothing. Simy. Hi, I'm Simy and you are? Me. Nosipho. Simy. Is she joining us tonight? Me. What? Qunel. No, it's not her kind of thing. Simy. Okay, suit yourself. They stood up and I was left stunned. Wonders will never end in this world, I tell you. How does a blind man have sex? To even think that this Simy thought I'd join them and she didn't even seem to mind. Maybe it's something she's used to arg. Let me go sleep and stop thinking about nonsense. Insert 3. I was drinking a cup of coffee and having rusks while walking around in my sleeping shorts and vest. It was a cool Saturday morning and there were no workers in the house. It seemed as if I was the only one awake and I went to watch TV. After a few minutes Menzi came in whistling and dancing around. Me. Someone had a great night. Menzi. Geez. You gave me a fright. Me. Sorry Mr. Menzi, I don't even know your surname. Menzi. It's Nosipho Zondi. Me. Oh, so you're related to Qunel. Menzi. It's a long story. Me. Oh okay, so how was last night? Menzi. Amazing. Me. That's it, you won't even share more details. Menzi. Make space for me. I moved and he sat next to me, was squashed on a small one-seater couch. Menzi. So, I'm a douche. We did the deed last night. Me. You're not the only one who got laid last night. Menzi. What? I knew you're one naughty ass. Who was it? Me. Not me, idiot. Qunel. Menzi. No wonder he's still asleep. Who was it this time? Was it Melinda? Me. No, it was Simy. Menzi. Oh, they're at it again. I'm not shocked. Me. They dated. Menzi. Qunel doesn't date. But they've been at it for a while, they stop and start again. Me. Oh, I get you. Menzi. So you slept well. Simy is a loud one. Me. Menzi. I slept downstairs, thank God. Speak of the devil, she came downstairs looking all fresh and all smiles. She's a happy girl. Simy. Morning Nosi, morning dork. Me. Morning Menzi, morning you ugly ass. Simy, you know it's sexy. I have to love and leave you good people. Nosi. Good to meet you sexy girl, holler at me if you want some of this. She spanked her ass and ran out. Shush is crazy, I like her. Menzi. She plays for both teams, she's just a young girl having fun. Me. How old is she? Menzi. 22 or 23, between the two. Qunel walked downstairs and it was only then when I realized what the small hooks on the stairs are for. He holds onto them when he uses the stairs. He went to the kitchen and plugged the kettle. I quickly stood up and Menzi told me to sit down. I watched him as he made his way around the kitchen making coffee. Me. He'll burn himself, I whispered to Menzi, and he just smiled. It was actually fascinating to watch. His eyes were closed and he had no glasses on and he was making coffee. He kept on singing and he sat on the kitchen stool and drank his coffee. Qunel. I don't appreciate it when people just stare at me. Me. How did you know? Qunel. I did tell you all my other senses work perfectly. Me. I sometimes feel as if you're not blind at all. Qunel. I get that a lot. Menzi. It's a beautiful Saturday, what are we doing today? Me. Well, I'm going home, Qunel. Boring, Menzi. I agree with Qunel. You're staying here and we're going to have a chilled day. We're going to Bry, have a few drinks and hold a steady lovely conversation while we get to know each other. Me. Fine. Let me call my cousin and tell her I won't be coming back. Qunel. Tell her to come over me. Okay, I'll tell her. I called Ntombi while they were busy talking about their nights. Me. Ntombi, yes babes. Me. I'll request an Uber for you, I need you to come over to my workplace. We're having a chill session and you're invited. Ntombi. Okay, I'd never say no to alcohol and food, especially when it's free. Let me just change while I wait for the Uber. I ended the call and went back to the gents. Me. I'm going to shower, Ntombi will be here soon so don't scare her off. Menzi. We'll try. I went to the room I'm using and the bathroom was just beautiful. I grew up in a big home, rich, parents and all, but this house is just out of this world. I took a very long bath and it was so relaxing and soothing. I wore a mini summer dress and tied my hair into a bun. They were laughing and holding up a great conversation with Ntombi. Me. I guess I won't be doing any introductions, Qunel. You took too long so we didn't wait up on you to do so. Menzi. Let's take this outside, I need to start the fire. We walked outside and Ntombi looked at me, I know she has a lot to say. Me. Maybe you should start the fire while we cook pap and some salads, Qunel. Okay, cool, don't take too long. We went back to the kitchen and she giggled. Me. Speak, Ntombi. Firstly, this house is ridiculously big and is so beautiful. Me. I did tell you, Ntombi, and you're surrounded by absolutely gorgeous men. The blind guy is freaking handsome and he's friend too. Me. I bet you couldn't even tell that he's blind. Ntombi. Not at all, his glasses suit him. How does go to the gym? Me. I always ask myself that question. We continued talking while cooking and we went back to the guys when we were done. Qunel. You did take long, Ntombi. We didn't realize, Menzi. So how do you guys know each other besides being roommates? Ntombi. We cousins, best friends and roommates. Qunel. Who's older? Ntombi. I am, by just 3 days, though. Qunel. Interesting, Menzi. What do you do? Ntombi. I work at the factory part-time and I'm studying therapy, it's my last year. Qunel. Ooh, so we'll be having a graduation party soon. Ntombi. I guess so, we spoke a lot, just getting to know each other and it was such a cool, great vibe. I felt like Qunel was looking at me a lot, but I kept on telling myself that this man can't see, so there's literally no way he is looking at me. The man is blind, Nosipho. Get that into your thick skull. We sat down and ate. I was sitting on the same chair as Qunel as I fed him. Qunel. If we fall on this chair it will be your fault. Me. You're the tough one with the muscles and all, Ntombi. Speaking of muscles, I'm sorry, don't get offended or anything, but how do you lift weights? Qunel. It's one of the questions I always get, Menzi, especially from girls. Qunel. My father trained me, he trained me for almost everything I needed to know and do as a man. I spent most of my teenage life just training and learning how to do everything I possibly can by myself. I wiped his mouth and his hands and he giggled. Me. What? Qunel. My mother always does that. I smiled and gave him something to drink while I went to the loo. Ah, my period just started. I went to my room and took a bath, then fixed myself. I went back to them and they gave me a weird look. Menzi. You changed again. Me. Yes, I had to shower, Mother Nature called and I answered. Menzi. What do you mean? Qunel. She means she just had her period, Menzi. Oh, Ntombi, and you said you know a lot about women, Menzi. I do, but just not that certain thing. I laid on the little couch and ate some nuts. Qunel. Ntombi and Nosi, I think you should describe yourselves to me so I can have an idea of what you look like. Ntombi. Okay, I'll go first. She stood up and went closer to him and we were confused. Ntombi. I'll tell you how I look. but while I still do, you'll have to touch my face and highly concentrate, do you understand? Qunel. Yes, Dr. Billows, we laughed. She was just being all therapeutic about this. She described herself and he followed the instruction. It was actually something beautiful to watch and it seemed to help. Ntombi, it's your turn. Nosipho me, he has to do the touching thing to me too. Ntombi. Yes, I giggled and kneeled in front of him. I closed my eyes and put his hand on my cheek. Me, firstly, I have chubby cheeks. He laughed and caressed them. Me. I'm very dark in complexion, perky nose, beautiful big round eyes. His hands trailed to the parts one mentioned and his touch was electrifying. His touch made me shiver and my voice changed a bit. This was so intense. Me sad face, clears throat, I have bushy eyebrows, my forehead is big, it's always out there. I have long hair, it's very silky. Qunel, you have a soft scalp. He ran his hands all over my hair and I just felt the tears fall. His hands made their way to my eyes. He wiped off my tears and touched my lips with his manly hands. They were shivering and what I was feeling was too much to explain, but I was sure I'm not feeling it alone. I held onto his knees and he was also shaking. We stayed in silence for a few minutes and I opened my eyes. Menzi, okay, that was intense. We all laughed and I went to the bathroom. I have a weak bladder when I'm on my periods and hectic period pains. I took a blanket and asked him to come inside cause I was feeling cold. Qunel, it's so hot though. Ntombi, she gets freezing cold on her Mother Nature days. We went to the lounge and chilled there. Menzi, so we'll be seeing more of you too. Ntombi. Don't be a stranger after today. Ntombi, I won't. Qunel, seems like my brother is enjoying your company. Ntombi, you are brothers. Qunel, yes Menzi, my parents died when I was young so his parents adopted me. So I've been a Zondi ever since. Me. So you've been around each other all these years. Qunel, you could say so. He went to school in Cape Town and left me with my parents in PE, so we were together mostly during holidays. Me. How did you both end up in Durban? Menzi. Qunel wanted to leave home, he wanted his own life away from the parents. Trust. Me. I did too. Mom and dad can be overprotective. We moved out of home at 25, imagine. Qunel. They didn't trust us at all, they still don't. So we bought this house and finally took full control of our businesses. And it's been like that ever since. Me. Interesting, you're the inseparable twins. Qunel, we're separable. Menzi has to get married and start his own family. He can't be stuck with me all his life. Menzi. Trust me, I can bro. Qunel. But I don't want you to, we're getting old. 35 years old. Is no joke. I know you've always wanted to get married. You've always been the soft lover. Ntombi. I guess you've always been the player. Key. Qunel, I'm not as bad as you think I am. We laughed at him and it happened again. I felt his stare and reminded myself that he is blind. He stood up and left us in the lounge. After some time he came back with a tray of mugs filled with hot chocolate and whipped cream. He still amazes me how he's capable of doing things for himself yet he can't see. His father might have trained him so hard and for many years. But he did well. Qunel seems like a man who has an ego. He definitely would not like it if he was dysfunctional. He would lose his mind. Qunel. Scoot up. He sat next to me and we shared a blanket. He kept on rubbing my feet and it felt so good. Any physical contact with him makes me feel some type of way. Qunel. I bet you have ugly feet. Ntombi. Yes she does and she loves showing them, it's so embarrassing. Me. What? My feet are very cute, thank you very much. Menzi. Even mine are better. Qunel, how do my feet look? Menzi and Ntombi just laughed at him, they did look horrible. I don't think I'd survive as a blind person. There's so much to see in this life and not having the privilege of being able to see all that would just crush me. Yet, he is used to it. It is his life and he has accepted it. He doesn't even know what his feet look like. This really hurts. I don't know how Ntombi has just accepted and adapted to him in just a few Hours of being with him. Maybe she doesn't pity him, or her therapeutic self has made things easier for her. I guess I'm over emotional, or it will take time for me to get used to him. We all deal with things in different ways and different paces, right? Menzi, Intombi, come with Mimi, where are you guys going? Menzi, I need to see someone and she's coming with me. Me, okay, bring something nice and chilly when you come back. They left and Qunel turned and faced my way. Qunel, Intombi's idea worked. Now I can tell that you're very beautiful. Me, thank you Qunel. You seem nervous. Me, no I'm not, I'm just cold. Qunel, Nosipho, are you scared of me? Me, no I'm not scared of you. Qunel, then what is it? I know you're not fully comfortable around me. Me, I am comfortable and you're very good to be around, but Qunel, continue. Me, I feel sorry for you Qunel. I don't want you to pity me, I don't want you to feel sorry for me at all. Me, I can't help myself Qunel. I am blind, nothing will ever change. Get used to me and stop feeling sorry for me like I'm a damn child. His voice was high and demanding. He was shouting at me and he did scare me. I just kept quiet and closed my eyes. He stood up and went upstairs and I just decided to take a nap. I woke up when I heard Menzi and Intombi laughing too loud and banging the table. Me, some of us are trying to sleep. Intombi, geez, what happened to you? Menzi, mood swings. Me, MXM Menzi, where is Qunel? Me, I'm not Qunel's keeper. Menzi, okay, you guys had a fight. He laughed and went upstairs while Intombi gave me KFC hot wings. Intombi, so what was the fight about? Me, we didn't fight, he shouted at me. Intombi, why? Me, I guess he got angry when I told him I feel sorry for him. Intombi, feeling sorry for him won't help in any way. He will only feel weaker and that is not something he needs. He needs you to accept him and be strong for him just like we are. Me, he doesn't need me, I'm just his chef. Intombi, keep telling yourself that sweetheart. Now stop it, the man has enough to deal with than being frustrated over you feeling sorry for him. Me, I'll try. Intombi, don't try, just do as I say. She went back to the kitchen and the guys came downstairs. Qunel sat next to me, he didn't even ask me to move my legs, he just pushed me. MXM. I was going to apologize but I won't anymore. Menzi and Intombi just laughed and they were beginning to annoy me. Qunel, I'm sorry for shouting at you earlier on. Me, is that it? Qunel, is there something else I did wrong? Me, you just came here and pushed my feet, you didn't even ask me to move them. Qunel, and I'm sorry for pushing your feet. No, see me, that's more like it Qunel, so I'm forgiven. Me, yes you are. He squeezed my hand which was under the blanket and I felt it again, that electrifying feeling. I looked at him and wished that I could see through his eyes. Maybe I'd see that he felt it too. Maybe his eyes would speak more than what he can say using words. Maybe his touch is a way of him telling me he feels what I feel, but what is it exactly that I'm feeling? Whatever it is that I'm feeling has to go away. I'm here for a job and nothing more. Intombi's words kept on echoing in my head. Keep telling yourself that sweetheart, they echoed over and over again and I was distracted, so far away in thoughts that I ended up falling asleep. Insert 4. It's been a month of total bliss and a month of never-ending fights. To think I thought I wouldn't get along with Menzi and I'd get along more with Qunel was just a joke. Qunel is such an annoying character, he's different on every different day. Trust me, his attitude made me not even feel sorry for him. He just had a sudden change towards me and made me feel so useless and inferior. I guess I judged him too quickly and thought of him as a son more than a sinner. I gave him the benefit of the doubt just because he's blind, but now I know the kind of man he is and I'll gladly say that I do not like him at all. I am still taken away by the way he's capable of doing most things himself. I'd seen him at the gym a few times and I was amazed and mesmerized. There's literally nothing in this world that could stop you from doing anything that you want and need to do. It all needs determination and commitment. That I applaud him for. At first I wanted to understand his attitude and justified it with him being blind and having a lot of frustrations, but no, it was just his natural stupidity and stinky attitude. Blindness is too much of a serious and critical situation to use it as an excuse for a grown-ass man behaving like a child. What upsets me more is how he changes women and plays them like they are toys. I've lost count of the women I've seen for the past month, and it's disgusting how he feels like he's conquered the world by just having multiple of women. His stupidity comes in where he forgets he's blind, invites all these girls, some are so ugly, thank God he doesn't see them because his ego would just go down. And most of all, these girls steal from him. He invites every stranger in here and they leave with something. I noticed when 2 of his expensive watches went missing and he said he must have misplaced them. What confirmed my suspicions was when I got here and this other girl was busy shoving his watch, money and a bottle of champagne in a plastic. I had to tell Menzi to intervene and talk to his stupid brother before they steal valuables which are more sentimental and much more expensive. Who knows? They might even make him sign over his house, but I refuse to believe he could be that stupid. I'm not even looking forward to going to work today, but I have to. A job is a job, like my mom always says, and she is all the way in Dubai enjoying her hard-earned money. I got to work and there were a bunch of black SUVs parked in a convoy and Menzi came out, looking dazzling in a black tuxedo, and he didn't even pay attention to me. Okay, what is going on? I went into the house and everyone was busy. I grabbed Bonnie and we stood behind the door. Me. What is going on here? Bonnie. Mr. Zondi has been looking for you since 9 AM, it's 10 AM now. And he's angry. Me. So, I'm always late and he knows, Bonnie. He's not in the mood today, so don't say that to him. Plus, whatever is going on here is all about business. We're just the staff here, so we don't know exactly what's going on, just go to him. Me. No, Bonnie, don't say I didn't warn you. Do I pay you to stand behind my doors and gossip? He barked. Damn, it was Qunel. He looked so sexy in his black tuxedo. His glasses were black today and his stick was silver. My, I wonder what is going on with him. Qunel, get back to work, Bonisile. Nosipho, follow me. We did as instructed and we got to his office. Qunel, I know this is short notice, but I need you to master these meals by tonight. You have all day to prepare and get things ready. Me. This is Chinese and Japanese food, I don't know how to make these. Qunel, that's why you have all day to learn and perfect them. Me. I didn't go to school for cooking, I don't know how to master these. Qunel, Nosipho, I'm having very important men coming over tonight for a very important meeting. Now I'm asking you, not only as your employer but your friend. Help me out, you're the only one I trust. My last chef, he gave me food poisoning which he was instructed by some men I worked with. I almost died and it made my blindness even more severe. Now, it is you that I trust and I need you to handle the food tonight. I don't even want you having any hired waiter to assist you, only you touch the food. Do you understand? Me. How many people am I cooking for? Qunel, 50. Me, that's a lot, I will need help. Ntombi, Bonnie and Kanya can assist me. Qunel, I don't trust Bonnie and Kanya. Me, but I trust them. 2 hands will not be enough at all and the time you're giving me is just too little. Qunel, call Ntombi and I'll call my sister to come help as well. The 3 of you will be enough. Me. Fine Qunel, thank you, I'm counting on you. Me. And the cars outside. Qunel, they will fetch these men at the airport. Me. Okay Qunel, one more thing. Me. What? Qunel, you'll be wearing a uniform tonight, it will be brought to you by 6 PM. Make sure you're done and freshly cleaned up by then. I know it will be a hectic day, but I trust you can pull it off. Me. Yes sir. Qunel, the name is Qunel. Me, we're being professional today sir. He laughs and I call Ntombi while he calls his sister. After a few minutes they both arrive and he introduces his sister to us. Her name is Qunel. Qunel, please get to work in Tombi, I hope I'm getting paid. For this Qunel, me too Menzi, Qunel, we have to go Qunel, we'll be back in a few hours. Don't let me down. He held my hand and I'd be lying if I said I didn't feel the electric spark I always feel when he touches me. He squeezed it and I smiled. Then they left. It's still unbelievable and amazing how much effect he has on me even after our endless fights. Qunel, okay. Let's cook me. I wish I was excited as you are. I don't know half of the things that are written here. Jisoo, Vegetai and Kayasup, what is all this? In Tombi, this is just a disaster. Me. How about we do a bit of both African cuisine, what we're used to, and try a bit of these weird things and just set up a bit of everything. That way, these men will get an experience of our foods and a taste of their own food, reminding them of home. Cause if we go full on these meals, which I highly doubt we will perfect, they might feel disrespected and like we're undermining the importance of their food. Qunel, makes sense in Tombi, but how do we convince Qunel? Me. Leave him to me, I'll handle him. Qunel, yes ma'am. Let's start with grocery shopping cause these won't work out. We took Qunel's Toyota van and went grocery shopping and stored everything at the back. When we got home we started cooking, from sampan beans, steamed bread, tripe, impoyan worms and the works. We also prepared some Chinese and Japanese dishes. Qunel and Menzi came in followed by a young handsome boy who looked a lot like Qunel. Qunel, you came with this troublemaker. Menzi, we need him for security boy, plus, they'd be nothing without me, I'm the boss. Qunel, remember you're just 16. Boy. Whatever. Qunel, in Tombi, Nosipho, this is my little brother Qwenzo. Me. Hi Qwenzo. Qunel, what's that smell? It smells like beef tripe. Qunel, I'm out. Me, don't leave in Tombi, no, you said you'll handle this. We'll be checking the pots outside. We went full on Bunda style, cooking on a fire outside in a 3-leg pot. Me. Can you guys excuse us? I need to talk to Qunel. They left and I held Qunel's hand and led him to the couch. Qunel, you know I can walk to the couch. Me. I know. Qunel, talk. Me. Why do you hate me so much these days? Qunel, I don't hate you at all, you're the one who hates me and likes annoying me. And not taking my instructions. Me, so we'll argue again if I tell you I didn't really listen to your instruction. Qunel, we'll argue a lot, I can't stress enough the importance of today. Me. Let me start off by apologizing. Qunel, you never apologize. Me, am I forgiven? Qunel, depends. Now explain why you decided to not take my instructions and just simply follow them. Me, I came up with an idea, I think it will work. I decided to cook more of an African cuisine and mixed it up with a bit of Chinese and Japanese dishes. I knew we wouldn't be able to pull off the dishes and it would seem as if we're undermining them by doing nonsense to their highly valued foods. So why don't we give them a bit of our own, so they can have an experience of what we are and how our foods are. Qunel, if you'd go to Japan or China, they wouldn't try impressing you by making pap and beef tripe. They will give you their meals, what they know and what they are proud of, something that they'd like other people of different tribes to taste and know about the traditional foods. So that's what I've decided to do, we're going to make them feel a bit of South Africa by making them taste our food. Qunel, why didn't you do this as a professional career? Me. What? Qunel, go study and become a professional chef. Me. Anything with studying isn't me, and why study for something you already know? Qunel, to improve your skills and knowledge. Me. I can do that on my own. Now, am I forgiven for not taking your instructions, sir? Qunel, I'll decide after tonight. But I trust you, I know you wouldn't do something that would ruin me in the long run. I know. You have your best interest at heart. Me. Thank you, Qunel. They'll be here in an hour, so go wrap up. Your uniform is in your room. We used the last hour setting the tables with the help of the workers, and Funeka came up with the great idea of decorating the house in a traditional modern way. I thought it was a bit late for that, but she pulled it off. Her words were, "Qunel has money and a reputation, anything can be arranged with just his name being mentioned," and yes, it all happened. And we ditched the uniform and went for traditional attires. We had Abbot of Kosa, Zulu, Swati and Venda attires. Qunel looked dapper in his suit, which had different Songa patterns, and his stick was covered in beads. We were standing in order at the door as these men entered, and we ushered them to the area which the meeting will take place. They all spoke in a language we didn't hear, but Menzi and Qunel were deep in the conversation. I didn't know they could speak foreign languages. It was amazing and shocking at the same time. We left them as they proceeded with the meeting. We waited hours before we could serve the starter. Man, wow, today we are fully South Africans. I'm impressed. What is this, my lady? Me. It's beef tripe and steamed bread, sir. Man too. I'm excited. Thank you, I nodded, and once they were all served we left them for a few minutes. Menzi texted me telling us to come collect the dishes. Man 1. That was amazing, I cannot wait for the main course. Mr. Zondi did teach us that it's best when you eat with your hands, and indeed it was mouth-watering me. Thank you very much. Main course will be served in 15 minutes. We were giggling and happy at the kitchen while we were serving. Funeka. You a smart girl, Nosipho. My brother couldn't stop smiling. I'm sure he cannot wait to feast on your food. While everyone ate, he was in his office on a conference call. Menzi was there eating with them, so it wouldn't seem as if they weren't eating because of some bad reason. We served the main course and another man followed me out. Him. You're a great chef. Me. Thank you. Him. I'm Mr. Jane, I need you to do something small for me. Me. And what would that be, sir? MRJ. I need you to sprinkle this on both the Zondi men and Mr. Carter's food. He is the one sitting next to Mr. M. Zondi. I will pay you millions, more than what they are paying you here. Me. That won't be problem. I took the substance and left. We went our separate ways and I laughed. After they were all done, even dessert was served. The meeting was over and everyone was leaving. We said our goodbyes and all these men were impressed. Mr. Jane winked at me and I smiled back. He's such an idiot, he will reap the fruits of what he sowed. In Tombi, I'm exhausted. We all were. It was around 1 a.m. in the morning. Qunel. I'm starving. Funeka. Oh my brother, let me get you something to eat. Qunel. Please do, I want to taste what everyone was praising. Funeka dished up for him and fed him while we were cleaning and packing the dishes. Once we were all done, we sat together at the lounge and I sat next Qunel. Me. So something happened tonight, Menzi. What happened? Qunel. I saw everything, but you can tell the story. I forgot there were cameras installed and he was handling them. Qunel. Talk already. Me. Mr. Jane gave me poison to put in Qunel, Menzi and Mr. Carter's food. Menzi. That bastard. Qunel was listening so attentively, while he played with my hand and tightly squeezing it. I guess he was hoping that I didn't do it. Me. So, the man is all moneyed, he literally transferred the money into my account before they left. In Tombi. Why would he give you money? You did it. Me. No. I don't even know what that poison was for. If you guys were supposed to die, then I guess I just killed a man with poison. Qunel. Who the fuck did you poison? Me. Him. Menzi. Nosipho. Me. What? Should I have poisoned you instead? Menzi. Hell no, I'm just shocked, you're just something else. Qunel. Well, if he dies, that would be good riddance to bad rubbish. We all laughed and Qunel told us that the poison will not kill him, but it will damage his lungs and kidneys. After an hour of conversating and laughter, we all wanted to go rest. Qunel. You know where your rooms are, and tomorrow we will celebrate today's success. Funeka. What was this meeting even about? Menzi. Let's just say, in a few months we'll be richer and earning Billions Funeka. You're always after money Qunel. We don't chase money, money comes to us Menzi. Tell him bro. Me. I'm out. In Tombi. Me too Qunel. May I talk to you a bit before you sleep? Me. Yeah sure. I'll be in my room Qwenzo. Your room you say. I threw a pillow at him and went to my room. I changed and got into the shower. I know Qunel is still downstairs and talking to Menzi. They always have something to talk about. He knocked and came in. I was half naked and I ran to get a towel. Me. You knock and then you wait to be told to come in. I was naked damn it Qunel, why fuss? It's not like I can see you oh he's right me. But still Qunel, yeah whatever. I just wanted to say thank you very much for day. I'm really impressed and thank you for showing your loyalty and not poisoning me. Who would pay me if you were dead? I still need my money Qunel, and you'd be bored without me in your life me. Don't be too sure Qunel, I know you would. He came closer and I sat on the bed. Qunel, you're beautiful me. Thank you Qunel, I'll see you in the morning. Me. Good night, Qunel. Good night Buttercup me, really? Buttercup, is that all you could come up with? Qunel, I could call you Chubby Cheeks or Dark Beauty me, Buttercup is fine. I stood up and walked him to the door. He held my hand and kissed it. I closed the door and stood behind it and smiled. Okay, get over yourself. He was just being nice. It didn't mean anything. He was a bad man with a bad attitude towards you a few days ago. Don't be charmed by this. He may be a different man tomorrow. I told myself and got into bed. Insert 5. It's true when they say life is unexpected. Just yesterday things were okay. We were all hyped and happy, but little did we know that the next morning things would be different. I was woken up by Funeka this morning. I was so irritated, yet I followed her downstairs because there was something about her facial expression that told me whatever it is that she's waking me up for was important. My first thought was Qunel. I wondered if he was okay. Had something bad happened to him? Yet when we got downstairs I was welcomed by something so unexpected. Qunel furiously pacing up and down with Menzi arguing with the police and Ntombi crying. Me. What is going on here? Police. Miss Nosipho Billows, you are under arrest for the poisoning and attempted murder of Mr. Jane. Remain silent or anything you say may be used against you in the court of law. You have a right to call your lawyer. If you don't have one, the state will provide you with one. He took out handcuffs and I giggled a bit. Me, is this a joke? Police. I'm afraid it isn't. Let's go Menzi, let her get dressed into something appropriate first. Police. We will allow that Mr. Zondi. I just froze. I couldn't believe it. I felt like it was just a dream. Police. We don't have time. CC me. Let's go Qunel. Do not handcuff her. Police. We are doing our job Sir Qunel. You'll lose the job if you put your hands on her. He came closer and held my hand. Qunel, I'm going to get you out. I'll follow you to the police station. I nodded and left with the police. They didn't cuff me, but the horror of being pushed into a police van is something I will never get over. There were 2 other women there crying their lungs out, yet I was just there, too frozen to even think straight or cry about what's happening to me. We got to Westville police station. We were ushered to some room where we got the orange uniform. I changed and got one blanket. While we walked down the alley of cells full of women of all kinds, some whistling and screaming saying fresh stock has arrived. I was relieved to be put in a cell with just the 2 ladies I arrived with. I laid on the very uncomfortable bed and that's where it all sunk in, but not enough to make me cry. The other lady was still hysterical, crying her eyeballs out, and the other had cried herself to sleep. Me. Why are you in here? Her. I killed my husband. Me. What is your name? And why her? The name is Ketokul. He raped my daughter and I stabbed him 17 times. Me. You shouldn't be arrested. You did well. I would have killed him too. Where is your daughter? Ketho. She died. Me. What? Ketho. She was just 4 months old. She died in the process of being raped. I don't believe I have ever heard of such, nor have I ever cried so much. I felt her pain. It didn't happen to me yet. By her just telling the story, I felt it and it hurt. She should be grieving her child, but she is behind bars for killing some sick bastard, a man who deserved death. Stabbing him was an easy way out. He needed to be tortured and die a slow, painful death. Bang, bang, bang. The warder banged his rod on the cell. Him. Nosipho billows. You have a visitor. Am I allowed to have a visitor within just an hour of being behind bars? I was handcuffed and I followed him. The handcuffs were painful. My wrists couldn't take it. Qunel. I thought I made a clear instruction that she must not be handcuffed. Me. How do you know I'm handcuffed? Qunel. I can hear the sound of the chains. Nosipho. Uncuff her, damn it. Menzi. Don't let him repeat himself. I was uncuffed and I sat down, so did Menzi. Qunel was pacing up and down. Me. What happened? Menzi. Apparently the poison worked on Jane before they even went to the airport. They took him to the hospital and he was instantly paralyzed. He can't use his legs and hands. Me. So he wanted you, Qunel, and Carter to be paralyzed too. Serves him right. Qunel. You were crying. Me. No, Qunel, I'm not deaf, I'm just blind. Don't underestimate my abilities to determine your state of emotions. Me. Yes, sir. Qunel. He opened 2 cases against you. My lawyer will be here by this afternoon and I want you out of here by tomorrow. I hate that you'll even spend the night here. Me. Maybe one night won't hurt. Qunel. Where is your phone? And bank details. Me. My phone is under the pillow at home and Ntombi will give you my bank details. Menzi. We need those so we can have proof of the payment Jane sent you. Qunel. Do not give them any statement until your lawyer gets here. His name is Bongani Lathuli. Me. I have a lawyer. Is he good? Qunel. Best in the game. He'll get you out of here. Yes. My lawyer is your lawyer. Me. Thank you. I'll repay you. I was stupid. I should have just thrown away the poison. Qunel. No, you did well. You showed him not to mess with any of us, but most of all, you showed your loyalty towards us, and it's time we showed loyalty towards you. Menzi. You're family now, and once you're a part of us, there's no going back. Me. That sounds scary. Qunel. No need to be scared. We have to go now. We need to pay Jane a visit. Me. Don't do anything stupid. We can't all be in here. Menzi. We won't. Just be strong. I nodded and I left. No goodbye and no hugs. I don't know, a part of me just felt like I will stay here for a while. Not because I don't trust Qunel and Menzi, but I believe if they'll get me out illegally, Jane has a bigger chance of keeping me in here illegally. He is a powerful man from China. He can keep me here for the rest of my life without me even going to trial. I went back to my cell and there was another new inmate laying on my bed. Me. Hi. Sorry, please move. This is my bed here. No one has a bed here. Use the other one. Me. I don't think you understand. Move over. This is my bed and yours is over there. Her. That one is uncomfortable. You use it, Missy. Me. Listen here, this is no hotel. You won't be on a comfortable bed. And this isn't your jungle. You won't bully anyone just because you feel like it. We're all adults here. We don't need unnecessary drama. We all have a lot to deal with. I believe you are aware that we're in jail. She moved over and stood in front of me. She was scary, but I didn't show any fear. She moved and took my pillow with her. Me. You're forgetting to leave something behind her. What? Me. My pillow. She huffed and threw it back. Phew. Thank God she didn't give me any trouble or start a fight. I sat on my bed and just faced these grey walls. Jail is so dull, it could lead you to having depression or losing your mind by just you staring at these walls. There's nothing to look forward to, nothing comfortable, nothing to keep you sane. It's just you and your thoughts. Nothing more, nothing less. No wonder there is high suicide rates in jail, especially women's prisons. Warder. Prisoners, stand up. We stood up and we were taken to the cafeteria. Well, it looked like what seemed like a cafeteria. We were served food that a dog would eat. I love food, I work with food, and this is not it. I felt like I just want to vomit, but I was hungry. I ate it all. It was rice and potato soup, which was like a stream of water. And salt. I've never had to eat such ugly food, but I guess there is a first time for everything. Hours passed by and I was beyond being bored. I couldn't sleep too. I felt like I'm suffocating, and Kethio's soft cries kept on reminding me about the tragedy she's going through. It made me feel beyond hurt, but my pain will never be compared to the type of pain that she is feeling right now. The warder came again. Warder, prisoner Nosipho. It clicked. That's what I am. I'm not Miss Nosipho Billows anymore. I am prisoner Nosipho. I stood up and followed him to the visitor's room, and there was a man there whom I assumed was Qunel's lawyer. He looked like a gym freak, muscular, and he was dressed too casual for a lawyer, chino pants and a long-sleeve black t-shirt. He looked old, handsomely old. He's a handsome man, but you can see that he is old. Maybe early 40s. Him. I'm 43 years old. Are all the men I meet nowadays mind readers? Were men given a special ability to be able to read women's minds? Me. How did you know I was wondering how old you are? Him. The way you studied my face and my physique, you were trying to figure out how old I am. Me. MMMH. Him. Sit down. I'm Bonga Nilathuli, but call me Bonga. I'll be getting you out of here. Me. You seem so sure. Bonga. I've never lost a case. Nosipho. That's why Qunel trusts me so much. I'm good at what I do. Me. There's always a first time for everything. Bonga. Well, it won't be this time. His phone rang and he answered. B. I'm busy. I'll call you later. I know, babe. Fine, I'll buy it. Drops the call. Bonga. It's the wife. She's pregnant. 5th child, but 3rd pregnancy. Me. How? Bonga. We have 2 sets of twins. Me. Congratulations, you must be very happy. Bonga. Thank you. So getting back to this case, I need you to write down your statement stating everything that happened. You will plead guilty. Me. That will make me stay longer. Bonga. It will actually lighten your sentence and I will speed things up. You just have to spend maybe 2 or 3 days in here while I try to get you to appear in court sooner than having to stay a week before going to court. You've been charged for attempted murder. That's a big case. You have no history of any criminal records or any trouble with the law. Me. No, Bonga. Good. You should be out of here in less than a week. If they grant you bail, it might be a heavy price. My parents shouldn't know about this. They would be very angry and they'd let me stay here for maybe a month as punishment and a lesson for my stupid actions. I trust that Qunel will make a plan. He took my statement and we talked about a few more things. Bonga. Keep this. Me. Am I allowed to have this? Bonga. No, but you have one. There's my number, Qunel and Menzies' number there. Call when you need something. I hid it in my pocket and went back to my cell. There was nothing to do other than just sleep. I hid the little phone under the pillow and I slept. I couldn't breathe properly, nor could I even scream. My neck was painful and I was being strangled. I opened my eyes and she had her hands over my neck and choking me. She wanted me dead. I tried to fight her, but I was getting weaker and weaker. Kethio pushed her and I was able to catch my breath. A punch landed on Kethio's stomach and my face. Her. That's for talking to me like I'm a child. I was not even going to fight her. How was I going to fight this beast of a woman? I've never even been in a fight and I won't start now, in jail. I would be signing my own death sentence. I took the phone and called Menzie. He sounded very sleepy. I checked the time and it was after midnight. Me, Menzie. Menzie. Nosipho. I just cried and he kept on asking what was going on. Me. I want to get out of here. She almost killed me. Menzie. I'll call you in a few minutes. Just hold on a bit. After a few minutes indeed he called Menzie. You're going to move to a private cell. Me. Tell him to move me now and move Ketokul too. Menzie. I will do so. Me. Thank you Menzi, anything for you Nogift. Really, Nogift, what a lousy interpretation of my name. Knowing Menzi, he must be so proud of himself since he was able to come up with that stupid name. Ketokul and I were moved to a much more decent cell. The beds were proper and comfortable and it was clean. It was better but it still had the dull grey walls. Ketho, thank you for taking me with you sleep, you need some rest. Stop crying now. She nodded and slept. Even the blankets were warm and I was able to get some proper sleep without having to worry about someone strangling me again.